you ready, you'll have the muscle. But see, if you don't handle the small ones, you can't take care of the big ones. Okay, here's what else it takes for life change. Self-motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. I don't know why we call it self-motivation. It's really the only kind there is. You've got to motivate yourself. Because I found out you can't change people. They can change themselves, but you can't change them. Lord knows some I've tried. But see, it won't work. People have to change themselves. I learned some of those lessons early. I built a little sales organization way back in those early days. I'm 25. And I had some nice people. I said, I'm going to make these people successful if it kills me. I almost died. Right? I mean, you can't do that. See, I've discovered this. Good people are not trained. They're found. You find good people. You don't make them good. You find them good. Training really is for the purpose of finding good people. You don't need much instruction for a good person. But too much training probably means you got the wrong people. So you got to find the right people. That's the key to getting a good job done. One of the major things we learn in management, lesson 1, don't send your ducks to Eagle School. Because it won't help. I mean, I'm telling you, it won't help, no matter how good your school is. And the little eagle badge and little eagle hat, I'm telling you, it won't help. It won't help. You can tell whether your school's done any good, right, is when it's over, right? The duck goes for his first rabbit and makes him a friend. You say, no, no, no. Anyway, so it takes self-motivation to really alter your life. And you don't want to give self-motivation away to somebody else and make it somebody else motivating you. The guy says, boy, if somebody just come by and turn me on. What if they don't show up? Right? See, you got to have a better plan for your life. Okay. Now, if you're excited and you're ready to change, let me give you 3 steps to start life change that can change your life, your personality, your lifestyle, everything can change. Here's the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. The first key to doing better is find out. To change your life, really, you need ideas. There isn't anything an idea can't change. And Schoaf taught me the major problem is lack of an idea, not a problem. At first, I didn't have any money. I said to Mr. Schoaf, I don't have any money. He said, that's not a problem. Now, see, up until then, I always thought it was. Right? I was confused. He said, no, no, the problem is lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It isn't lack of money, it's lack of ideas. So if you get the ideas, see, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need a constant study of finding out. Now, Schoaf also said, when you find out something that works, put the information in your journal. Don't use your head for a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so that you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it. And if you repeat it, go over it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea takes root, starts to grow, and shows up in your bank account, and your dress, and your personality, and your lifestyle. But capture the ideas in your journal. Find out how things work. Schoaf gave me this word for my life change. He said, study. Great word. If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be happy, study happiness. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study. Some people just go through the day with their fingers crossed. See, that won't do it. You've got to study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, personal life. Now, here's a qualifying phrase. And we'll have several of these qualifying phrases throughout the seminar. Here's the first one. You may not be able to do all you find out. I understand that. You may not be able to do all you find out, but you should find out all you can do. See, you don't want to wind up at the end of your life and discover that you've lived only 1/10 of it. And the other 9/10 went down the drain. Not for lack of opportunity, for lack of information. So that's number one, find out how things work. Now, here's the best human virtue for finding out: curiosity. Make a note of that. Curiosity. Be curious. You might add a word to it that'll help. Childish curiosity. What will kids do if they want to know something bad enough? Bug you. That's the phrase. They can ask 1,000 questions. You think they're through? They got another 1,000. They'll drive you to the brink. It's a virtue. When you gotta know, be like a child. In fact, Jesus, the master teacher, said, unless you can become like little children, you might as well forget it. You don't have a prayer. Excellent advice. You got to be like children. 4 ways, in my opinion, to be like a child. Number 1 is curiosity. Number 2 is excitement. Get excited like a child over your ability to make yourself do anything for change. 3rd is faith. Have faith like a child. Adults are too skeptical. And 4th is trust. Trust is a childish virtue, but the rewards are incredible. So be like a child. Now, if you're curious, let me give you 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Any life direction, any dimension. Here's 3 ways to find out how to change anything. Number 1 is to read. Become a good reader. All of the successful people I know and work with around the world, they're all good readers. Curiosity drives them to read. They got to know. They just read. Become a good reader. Now, that's my opinion. Listen to the other lecturers and listen to me and make up your own mind. Don't be a follower. Be a student.
Facts.
Okay? I say, really, for life change, you got to read. One way to learn is from your own experiences, but another way to learn is from other people's experiences. See, one book might save you 5 years if you read it. Did you know there's books on how to be stronger, more decisive, be a speaker, be a leader, have a better effect on other people, develop your personality? Did you know there's books on that? And people don't read them. How would you explain that? And they can read. Did you know that hundreds of successful people have written their stories in books and they wrote down how they did it, and people don't read it? How would you explain that?
How do you explain that, Hazel?
The guy's busy, I guess. You know, you get tied up. The guy says, well, yeah, you work where I work. By the time you struggle home, it's late. You got to eat a bite of supper, watch a little TV, get to bed. You can't sit up half the night reading. And the guy's behind on his car payment. Good worker, hard worker, sincere. But you got to be better than sincere and work hard. Otherwise, at the end of your life, you'll wind up cold, stony broke. You got to be better than a good worker. You got to be a good reader. The whole world is governed by laws. The universe, in fact. Laws. We call it the law of electricity. We call it the law of gravity. There's mathematical laws. There's physical laws, speed and velocity laws, agricultural laws. There's all kinds of laws. Now that we find ourselves on the spinning planet, you just have to learn what I call the setup. Learn the setup. Life's setup. Now, we didn't set it up, but we're here, so you got to learn it. And we should learn the setup for 2 basic reasons. Number 1, to keep from getting hurt. It's one of the major reasons for learning, so you won't get hurt. See, economically, socially, personally, you can get hurt just not knowing. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. Ignorance is tragedy. You got to know or you're going to get hurt. It's good to know not to walk out the 10-story window. That's excellent information. Now, what if a guy didn't know and he walks out? Now he's dead at the bottom. Somebody says, well, the poor guy didn't know. You got to know.
All right, guys, we're going to start in exactly 60 seconds. I just want to let everybody know that we're going to start really, really quick here. So I don't want to let anybody miss it. So just let everybody know, give them that last second, update. Yo, Mornings with Nano is starting now. I know we started a little late today, yesterday actually. So I want to make sure we get started, with some time here today. So 60 seconds, send out that last message and let's run it up, fam.
Or you're going to get hurt. Okay. Now here's a parenthesis. You don't have to like the setup. I don't ask you to like how it is. That's not what's important. But it is important to learn how it is. Okay, so you don't have to like it, but you should learn it. That's what I tell the kids, right? Make sure you get the information. What you think about it, that's up to you. What you're going to do with it, that'll soon be up to you. But make sure you get it. See, there's nothing worse than being stupid. Nothing. I mean, being broke is bad, but being stupid is awful. And what's really bad is being broken stupid, right? That's about the end of the world. I mean, there isn't anything much worse than that. Unless you're sick. Sick, broken, stupid. I mean, that is it, right? There's nowhere else to go. So make sure you get the information. It's key. You don't have to like it, but learn it. If this big monstrous thing lifts up in the sky, hangs there for a little while, cuts loose, comes crashing down, boom, shakes the ground for 5 miles. And then this big monstrous thing lifts back up in the sky, hangs there for a little while, cuts loose again, comes crashing down, boom, shakes the ground for 5 miles. It just keeps doing it, this big monstrous thing, lifting up and then crashing down, boom. Now, you might come along one day and say, that's got to be a stupid arrangement, which is okay. You're entitled to your opinion. But the first thing you should learn to do is get out from under it, right? That's number one. You might have a great moral argument. You might want to shake your finger at the sky, but do it from over there, right? So you don't get smashed. It's called your basic smart.
All right. There we go. Grand Rising Familia. How is everyone feeling this morning? Can I get a big smile? Yes, big smiles. Super excited, super blessed to be here on this call today. How's everybody feeling today? How is everyone feeling today? I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling aligned. I'm feeling connected. I'm feeling, just really, really good. I am feeling amazing and getting better. I am expecting miracles and I get miracles. Tomorrow is Christmas. I am so excited. I am in positive anticipation of all my dreams, all my goals, everything that's happening in my life. I am extremely, extremely thankful for it. Each and every single day, I can't, I'm just so forever thankful for everything because, and I'm so extremely thankful for everything because honestly, every day we get a chance to, wake up and work on ourselves. I think that is the most valuable thing that we do day to day. And that's what I'm most grateful for because every day we get to wake up and serve. And, this morning, I was reading about, us accepting our assignment, us accepting the gifts that God has given us. And, that's something that I'm extremely thankful for because honestly, God has blessed us in ways that we can't even imagine. And, every single day that we get to wake up and pour into ourselves and here is amazing. So just real quick, real quick, what's one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box and then we are going to start. Today, we are on chapter 3. We're going to do chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, chapter 3 and chapter 4 is what we're going to be doing today, the power of assumption, which we actually did a few weeks ago. And then we're going to do chapter 4, which is desire. All right, so we're going to do both of those chapters today. So I want to start here in the next 60 seconds. So I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for my day one brothers, my mentors, Matt, Rosa, Matt Gribby, Jason Brown, Alex Morton, Darwin Lopez. Extremely grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano family, the Mornings with Nano community, Jasmine, Sana, my brother Hansel, the whole leadership academy, the whole leadership dynasty, everything, everybody in the organization. I'm extremely, extremely grateful. Grateful for Katie, grateful for Hazel. This is Hazel's world, so extremely grateful for Hazel for all the happiness that she brings to my life. Grateful for my sis Chastity, who's here, my sis Erica as well, and the whole family who's here as well. So extremely, extremely thankful. I'm grateful for information, grateful for health, grateful for my hair, for my curls, for my trip to Barcelona. Just extremely thankful, guys. So looking forward to it. We are starting now at 9:21, perfect timing. And I'm looking forward to it. So if you're ready to go and if you're ready to start this, put a 3 in the chat box. If this is your first call, all right, we are currently reading this book together as a group for the whole month of April. We've dedicated the whole month of April to the power of awareness, right? And the power of awareness, the reason why we dedicated it to this is because it's April for awareness. And when we increase our level of awareness, we increase our income, we increase our consciousness. There's a lot that happens when we increase our level of awareness. And yesterday we had a phenomenal day one. We went over, we went over consciousness, and we also went over I am and how important it is. And basically just a brief recap of what we went over yesterday is that you are who you believe yourself to be. Okay, so whatever it is that you believe yourself to be, whatever it is that you speak on a day-to-day basis, okay, that's who you are. And whatever you allow yourself to think is what you will become. So that's a lot of what we covered yesterday. Just in simple terms, you become what you think about most. As a man thinketh, or as a woman thinketh, so is she, or so is he. Okay, so those were topics that we went over, and we basically said that after this month, okay, starting the second quarter, the consciousness that we had, the level of awareness that we had, the people that we were before, right? Before April is behind us. Whatever we did the first 90 days, it doesn't count anymore. Okay, that's it. We're starting a new year. We started a new year April 1st. We started a new quarter April 1st. We started a new month April 1st. We started a new week April 1st. Okay, so it's brand new everything. So this is a perfect time for you to grow in your awareness. So if you don't have the book, get the book. Get this one right here. It's called The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Get the one that has like the beige with the red and the black, and the eye in the middle. So you can be on the same page with us. I know some other people got some other copies. If you missed the digital copy that I put in the chat, go get it. I put a digital copy in the chat that somebody has sent me. So huge shout out to the person that sent me that. But let's get this call started. All right. So chapter 3 is the power of assumption. Now, the power of assumption for sure is one of my favorite chapters in this whole book because of the power of it. We actually went over it the other day. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago we went over it, but it's always good to go over it again because now a lot of you guys will be able to read along with me. So let's get this call started. All right. So we're at the top of page 16, chapter 3, power of assumption. All right, let's run it up. So man's chief delusion in his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. Right, that's powerful right there. I want you to highlight that really quick. Man's chief delusion in his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. Now, just with that first line says a lot. What is he saying with that one right there? He's saying, okay, that people's chief delusion, which means, what is a delusion? Something that you believe that's not really real, right? You believe in something that's not really real, right? And man's chief delusion, and when he says man's, he's also talking about, women as well. So I don't want the women to exclude themselves from what it is that he's saying here. But, man's chief delusion is that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness, which means is that people believe that the things that are happening on the outside, okay, is happening, like we said yesterday, that is happening to them, but in reality is happening for them, okay? And this is important that you understand this, okay? Everything that is happening in your life, you attracted it. Like we learned in chapter 2, you magnetized it, right? You magnetize who you are. What you think, you magnetize it. You attract it into your realization, right? All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness, okay? A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of a change in temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. All right. So if I were you, I would highlight that whole entire that whole entire paragraph, because that whole paragraph is basically a review of everything we've covered in the last 2 days. In the last 2 chapters, with chapter 1 and 2. All right. So he basically, went into this and broke it all down into that one paragraph. So let's read it one more time from the top and really, really grasp this, right? And this is how I read, guys. Like I would read it, I would highlight it, go back, read it, do my best to like really understand what he was trying, to convey in this message. Okay. And that's also very, very important. So let me break this down for you guys. He said, man's chief delusion in his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him or her, happens as a result of his or her state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks, desires, and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of a change in the temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of change in your state of consciousness. All right. And that is important because this is what we've been talking about, since the beginning of the year. This is what we've been talking about all on Mornings with Nano, is that we got to change the way we think. We got to change the things that we are putting into our mind. That's why I tell you guys, read the books, listen to the audios, jump on Mornings with Nano, go to the events. All right. You have to change the way that you think before you can even accomplish any success. I actually said this to somebody the other day, and I was telling them, I'm like, yo, look, he said, I was like, look, this is what it's going to take for you to be successful. Because he asked me, he said, yo, bro, he came up to me and he asked me this question. He said, bro, I want to be very successful, but, I'm from the hood, I don't come from much. And it's something that, I want to do, but I want to be successful fast, man. I want to be able to do it as fast as possible. And I said, look, bro, I'm about to tell you something that you might not want to hear, but it's not going to happen fast. It's going to take time. It's going to be slow sometimes. It's going to be, annoying. And, sometimes you're going to go through a lot of challenges. But what I do tell you is going to be worth it. He said, how long did it take you to be successful? I'm like, bro, I'm still working. He like, what do you mean, bro? Like, don't you make a lot of money? Don't you live in Miami and all of this? I'm like, yeah, bro, but I'm still working. Like, there's still things that I have to develop. I'm still developing my new paradigm. It took me 2 to 3 years to get rid of my old one. Remember what we talked about? We talked about the ball of yarn, right? Remember the ball of yarn? Think of your mind as that ball of yarn. Think of your consciousness. Remember, you can't control what that ball of yarn looks like right now. Think of the ball of yarn as your mind, okay? You've been programmed for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, and picture your mind as that ball of yarn. All right, that is your paradigm. Now, in order for you to be successful, you need to unravel. You have to unravel the whole ball of yarn, the whole thing, every day, every single day. You have to unravel it every day. You have to be unraveling all day, every day. It might take you weeks, months, and then you have to continue to unravel it. And then once you unravel it, you know what you got to do? Then you have to redo it. But now you got to do it with a new mindset, with a new state of consciousness, with new feelings, with new ideas, with new associations, with new stuff. And the reason why most people don't make it is because most people don't want to spend all the time that it takes to unravel the ball of yarn. But on top of that, all right, listen to this. On top of that, they don't want to revavel it. They don't want to redo it again because it takes time. It's a process. It's a process. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Neno, how long are you going to be doing this for? I said, yo, well, bro, my goal is minimum 10 years. They said, why 10? I said, 10 is the minimum for me. 10 is the minimum. 10 is the start. When I dedicate 10, then that's when I know I started. Until then, I haven't started because it takes years to master something. And that's what I want all of you to understand when it comes to this, your consciousness. You have to redo the whole thing and start all over. That's why I'm so big on what? The morning routine, because the morning routine was my time every day to unravel that ball of yarn. That was what it was for me. And I want you guys to understand that. So let's continue and let's run it up so we could be here done fast, right? Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right, I'm at the bottom of that same page. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas for you to think from your ideas. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. Okay, that's the number one thing right there, guys. Highlight that. Nothing happens unless you have a burning desire, okay, to want to change. I had a burning desire to change because I didn't have what I wanted. I was broke. I was tired of my mom complaining to me about the bills. I wasn't living where I wanted to live. I was sick and tired of my environment. I wasn't happy with where I was in my life. So I had a burning desire to transform my life. And that's what he's saying right there. All transformation it begins with an intense burning desire to be transformed. The first step in renewing the mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. By desiring to be other than what you are, you can create an ideal person. You can create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. The ideal you hope to achieve is always ready for an incarnation. But unless you yourself offer it human parentage, and it is incapable of birth. Therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having desired to express a higher state, you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. All right? This is valuable. This is key. This is key. There was one part right there that you have to highlight no matter what. He said, there's so much to highlight in this book, and I love it. But he said the first step is in renewing the mind is desire. You must then, right, want to be different to begin to change. He said, then you must make your future dream a present fact, and you do this by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's it right there. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. That's what did I tell you guys to do at the end of yesterday's call? I said, guys, go and figure out what it is that you want to be by the end of the year, by the next 6 months. Where do you want to be 3 to 5 years from now? Visualize that. Okay? Visualize that. Put yourself in that dream and live from the end in mind. Okay? Live from the end in mind. I know this. I know you don't understand this right now, but just try this. Do your best to give this a shot, because this is something that has changed my life. I'm telling you guys, I did this when I had nothing. I read this book when I was broke, and it changed my life forever. It changed my life forever. I had nothing. What page are you on? I'm on page 17. All right. I'm on, and what I did was, even though I didn't have the money in the bank, even though my back office didn't look the way that I wanted to, even though I didn't have the team and the leaders and all of that stuff, what I did every day was I looked at, all right, who is Nano 5 years from now? Okay. This is what I did. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I did. Who is Chairman Nano? How does six-figure Nano act? How does he dress? How does he show up? And I identified who that was. Well, that Nano is consistent. That Nano is always happy. That Nano always shows up. That Nano is disciplined. This one. So I started to identify the qualities of that person, of who I was. And then I started to develop those things. I didn't care about the money, because I knew that the money was going to come as a reflection of who I became. So I said, I have to develop those habits. Okay. That Nano is consistent. I got to be consistent. That Nano is disciplined. I got to be disciplined. The six-figure Nano shows up every single day, no matter what. Then I got to show up every day, no matter what. All right. That Nano, he doesn't allow the outside circumstances to affect his peace. Then I got to become that right now, because that is the only way that I'm going to be able to attract that. That's what he's saying in the book. He said, you must make your future dream a present fact. And you do this by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So every day I woke up as a chairman. I woke up as someone that was already earning 6 figures. I never woke up as broke Nano. Never. That was never who I was. Every day I wake up today, I wake up as Chairman 50 Nano. How does Chairman 50 Nano act? How does he dress? How does he speak? Where does he eat? What does he do? I'm living from the end in mind. I'm living from my future dream, and I'm making it a present reality until it both aligns. And that's what I need you guys to understand. This is key. All right. This is what he says. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling. All right. If this assumption is persisted in, you have to persist. You have to keep going. Persistence. What is it? It's the ability to go from failure to failure without losing the feeling, without losing that enthusiasm. Okay. You got to be able to persist. And that's most people's problems right there, is that they lack persistence. The moment something happens in their life, they stop. The moment something, in their families, in their relationships, I know so many people that allow so many things to stop them, and that's where they mess up. The moment you stop, you lose. The moment you go through something, you stop, you lose. That's how it works. Nobody feels bad. That's life. Nobody's going to feel bad for you. When I noticed that, I was like, damn, nobody's going to feel bad for me. So I might as well just keep showing up. Nobody cares that much. It's the truth. My mentor told me once, he said, Leno, nobody cares. Keep working. He's like, bro. And he said, Leno, I know that sounded harsh, bro, but I'm telling you the truth, bro. I'm looking out for you, little bro. He said, nobody cares. Nobody cares, bro. You think people care? Keep working, bro. How many people called you to check in on you? Nobody, right? So nobody cares. Go keep working, bro. Keep working, keep working. Work harder now. Don't allow, okay, your circumstances to stop you from working. Okay, and that's the key. So if this assumption is persistent until it becomes your dominant feeling, then the attainment of your idea is inevitable. The attainment of your idea is inevitable. And look, I don't mean to sound harsh, because I know there's some of you guys that are going through some real life stuff, and I want you to know that I do care. I care for sure, because that's the reason why I show up, is because I care. But in life, most people won't care. In life, most people will not care what you're going through. If anything, they'll be happy that you're going through it. So understand that. So we're at the bottom of page 17. We're going to keep it reading here because I don't want to stop. But that I know those two paragraphs are some of the most important things that we got to understand from this book. All right. Then he says, in giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. This is a point that is truly understood by probably not more than one person in a million. Man, you gotta get this stuff, man. I talked to you guys about this, the physical and the spiritual stuff. Listen to that one more time. He said, in giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. It's understanding the difference between physical success and spiritual success, right? What percentage of success is spiritual? Type it in the chat box. What percentage of success is spiritual, if you know? It's 90 to 99%. 90 to 99% of your success is spiritual. And look, he says this is a point that is truly understood probably not more than one person in a million. So think about that. One person in a million really understands this. You know a thing mentally by looking at it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it and defining it. Whereas you can know a thing spiritually only by becoming it. You must be the thing itself and not merely talk about it or look at it. You must be like the moth in search of its idol, the flame, who spurred, at the top of page 18, who spurred with true desire, plunging at once into the sacred fire, folded his wings within till he became one color and one substance with the flame. He only knew the flame who in it burned, and only he could tell who ne'er to tell returned. That's a random thing to put in the chapter, but who spurred with true desire, plunging at once into the sacred fire, folded his wings within, till he became one color and one substance with the flame. He only knew the flame who in it burned, and only he could tell who near it to return. It's pretty powerful stuff right there. But just as the moth in his desire to know the flame was willing to destroy himself, so must you, in becoming a new person, be willing to die to your present self. Okay? So you gotta get rid, all right, of that old version of you. All right. They say that in order for the new version of you to come, your old version must die. The old version must go away. All right. You must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. You must be conscious of being secure if you are to know what security is. Therefore, to incarnate a new and greater value of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption, which is not yet incarnate in the body of your life. In confidence that this new value of state of consciousness will become incarnated through your absolute fidelity to the assumption that you are that which you desire to be. This is what wholeness means, what integrity means. They mean submission of the whole self to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and certainty that the new state of consciousness is the renewing of mind which transform. There is no order in nature corresponding to this willing submission of the self to the ideal beyond the self. Therefore, it is the height of folly to accept the incarnation of a new and greater concept of self to come about by natural evolutionary process. That which requires a state of consciousness to produce its effect obviously cannot be affected without such a state of consciousness. And in your ability to assume the feeling of a greater life, to assume a new concept of yourself, you possess what the rest of nature does not possess: imagination and the instrument by which you create your world. Okay, so that whole paragraph was basically dedicated to understanding the importance, all right, of creating that new version of yourself and living in the reality of it. Okay, this is so key. All right, you got to live in the reality. It starts at the top, right? If you must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. Okay, so you must be conscious that you are that person if you know who that person is, because you are becoming that person every day. You are developing yourself every day. Okay, this is key. That's why using your imagination every day is so important. That's why we were doing the visualization meditations all the time. Yeah, we stopped them, but we did them for like 10 months. We did them for like a good 10, 11 months. We stopped them in October because we went into the leadership topics, I remember. But dude, we was doing them since January. We did them for 10 months. And you know what's funny, guys? Still to this day, I do them. This morning, I was doing the visualization meditation, the same exact one that we were doing back in the days. I still do it to this day. Like, that is my go-to meditation. That is still to this day my go-to meditation. Like, whenever I need to meditate and I need a quick 10-minute meditation to put myself in that reality, boom, I still do it to this day. The same one. The same exact one till this day. Today, this morning, I did it. Yesterday morning, I did it. For real. That and boho are the only two meditations I do. But that's what they're saying right here, okay, is that this is the key, all right? This wholeness means, right, submission. They mean submission of the whole self to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is so powerful right there in the middle of chapter 18, right? He says, submission of the whole self to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and certainty that that new state of consciousness is the renewing of the mind which transforms. You have to give your whole self up. You have to give up your whole self to this idea, okay? It's assuming that you live in this reality already, okay? You really have to embody this idea of who you want to be. This book could change your life if you apply this stuff. This book will change your life if you allow it to change your life. All right. And I have my own meditation as well. Yeah, I have my own meditation. I have a meditation. You could get it on my podcast. It's a guided meditation. It's super fire, by the way. All right. Let's wrap up page 19 right here. Right there where it says your imagination is an instrument. All right. Second paragraph. All right. Page 19. Your imagination is the instrument, the means whereby your redemption from slavery, sickness, and poverty is effected. If you refuse to assume the responsibility of the incarnation of a new and higher concept of yourself, then you reject the means, the only means whereby your redemption, that is, the attainment of your idea, can be effected. Imagination is the only redemptive power in the universe. However, your nature is such that it is optional to you whether you remain in your present concept of yourself. A hungry being longing for freedom, health, and security, or choose to become the instrument of your own redemption. Imagining yourself as that which you want to be and thereby satisfying your hunger and redeeming yourself. Oh, be strong then, and brave, pure, patient, and true. The work that is yours, let The work that is yours, let no other hand do. For the strength for all need is faithfully given from the fountain within you, the kingdom of heaven. I'm doing my best, guys, okay? So stick with me. I'm reading in front of 700 people. My reading skills are being tested in front of 700 plus people. It's not thank God for all the book clubs that we did, and I did it. We did it so much in the past, and I read it a lot, so doing my best. But that's something that I want you guys to see, is that, like, I'm not scared to get uncomfortable. I'm not scared to mess up in front of you guys. If anything, we mess up together. You know what I'm saying? And I want you guys to know that, like, I don't care to mess up. I don't care if I don't know a word, if I don't understand something, because I'm learning this stuff with you guys. I'm understanding this stuff with you guys, okay? And that's the key. But to go back right here at this chapter, and then we'll go into the next chapter so we can wrap it up. All right, we're right on time with it, right? We always talk about your imagination is the instrument, the means whereby your redemption from slavery, sickness, and poverty is effected. If you refuse to assume the responsibility of the incarnation of a new and higher concept of yourself, then you reject the means, the only means whereby your redemption, that is the attainment of your ideal, can be effected. That paragraph should be highlighted if I were you. Okay? That paragraph should be highlighted. You got to highlight that. Because what he's saying is, your imagination, this right here, is the only way that you're going to get out of the situation that you're in. Think about that. Think about that right there. You don't need nothing else. Some people think, look, guys, I used to think I needed more money to change my situation. I used to think that I needed the right people in my life to change my situation. I used to think that I needed a mentor to change my situation. I used to think all of these things that I needed in order for me to change my situation. And in reality, all I needed was my imagination. All that you have is all that you need. And that's facts, Jasmine. Your imagination is the instrument. Guys, when nobody believed in me, my imagination was all I had. When my mom, when my dad, when my friends, when the relationship I was in, when everybody doubted me and everybody made fun of me, my imagination was all I had. It's all I had. My imagination and God was all I had. And at the time, I didn't even have a really good connection with God like the way I do now. I had a connection with him. I would talk to him. I would pray, but it wasn't as strong as I have it now. It wasn't as developed as it is now. I've been working on this relationship now for 2.5 years. Okay, so this is not something, obviously when I started, the relationship wasn't as strong as it is now, but my imagination at the time was all I had. That was my instrument for me to get out of basically slavery, sickness, and poverty. Seriously, like we weren't living in poverty. Yes, we were able to pay the bills, but we were still living in low income means. Okay, we didn't have everything that we wanted. We weren't all there. All right. And literally, guys, still to this day, I'm still using my imagination to get us out. I can't stop. I still haven't bought my mom and dad that house I promised them. So a lot of people might look at me and be like, yo, my guy Nano made it. No, not yet. Not yet. I still haven't bought my mom that 2-story house in the Dominican Republic with the beautiful garden that she wants and the hammock in the backyard and, hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank. I still haven't done that. So the work doesn't stop. Why stop? Why stop? Why stop? I still haven't done it. But Nano, the business is hard and this and that. I don't care. I'm going to keep going. I'm not doing this for nobody else. I'm doing this to make sure that my family is good. I'm doing this to make sure that I'm a great leader to my team. I want to be a great leader to my team. If I fold, if I stop, people are going to think it's okay to stop. If I keep going, which I am, everybody's going to know, yo, I can't stop because he hasn't stopped. You know how many people I know personally that are still here because I haven't stopped? That's why I be telling you guys, be careful who you call leaders because not everybody leads. Be careful who you call your leaders. Be careful who you call leaders because a leader doesn't stop showing up because of what they go through. That's why be careful if you are considering yourself a leader. Don't call yourself a leader and then when tough times show up, you don't show up. I'm telling you right now, there is so many people that consider themselves leaders, but then the moment something happens, the moment they're gone, you don't see them, they're on to the next company, they're on to the next thing. That's not a leader. A leader stays and figures it out. He doesn't look for the easy way out. Doesn't look for the easy way out. Okay? All these leaders that we used to claim to be leaders, they're not leaders. Because the moment things got hard, the first thing they did was they left and went into do it in a way that was easy. They're looking for the easy way out because remember, they need to find a way to temporarily feed their egos because their egos were destroyed when they lost their businesses, when they were exposed as leaders. Because they really wasn't who they used to think they was. They wasn't who they really thought they was. And God exposes them. And now they're mad and they're exposed. That's why you saw so many people fold, leave this, because they got exposed. Got exposed. That's how it happens. Time promotes and exposes everybody. That's how it works. So we got to be locked in. If you claim yourself to be a leader, stand like this. Through the face of failure, challenges, cold, winter, hot, summer, like this. Chest up, posture up, smile. Yes. Life is good. Life is amazing. Yo, Nano, how's everything going? Life is great, my brother. How is yours? Life is getting good and getting better each and every single day. I expect miracles and I get miracles. Guess what, bro? Guess what's tomorrow? What's tomorrow, guys? What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Christmas. Tomorrow is Christmas. I'm in positive anticipation that everything that I want is already mine. And that's how you got to live. That should be your attitude. All right. So let's go into chapter 4. Chapter 4 is literally only 2 pages. And then we'll wrap it up. All right. But understand power of assumption. All right. The whole concept of the power of assumption is make an idea. Right. You remember this. Look, I could show you guys. You want me to tell you who if we go right here to the power of assumption, what does he say? Right. You must make your future dream a present fact. You must make your future dream a present fact. You want to know what I'm making a present fact? Let me show you. Look at my future dream right here. Let me read it to you guys one more time because I love reading this. All right. I got to make it a reality, right? I'm driving down Collins Avenue in my Rolls Royce. I make a U-turn on 183rd Street. I pull up into the Porsche Tower at 18555 Collins Ave. I drive into the garage. There's a line of luxury cars on each side of me. The elevator opens up for my car and I go in. I position the car in the elevator and I put it in park. The elevator lifts up and takes me to my beautiful oceanfront condo on the 40th floor. I live in the most luxurious condo with the most rare furniture. My car is in my living room. My bedroom has an ocean view. I watch the sunrise every morning. I am a Chairman 100 with 10 plus 6-figure earners in my organization. My crypto portfolio has exceeded 7 figures. I own multiple rare NFTs. I own land in the metaverse and much more. I'm a profitable 7-figure trader and I'm teaching others the skill. My mom and dad are retired in the Dominican Republic with a 2-story house and they're healthy and they're happy. My baseball academy is producing some of the best baseball players in the country. The Mornings with Nano family has exceeded millions of people impacted in English and in Spanish. I am speaking on stages all over the world. The Nano brand is global. My podcast is ranked in the top 25 in the US and in the world. My relationship with God is the best it's ever been. All glory to him for all he has given me and will continue to give me. I am happy. I am joyful. I am at peace, full of love and gratitude. I am donating to charities all over the world, helping others win and elevate. I live the most beautiful and abundant life. Thank you, God. No words in the world can describe the feelings I have in my heart for all you've given me. That's when I talk to you guys, when I told you guys yesterday to create a dream that you want to live, that's what I meant right there. When I said create it, that's what I meant right there. I created that already. It's already there. That's how I live. I literally live in that reality right there. That's what I live. Look, you must make your future dream a present fact, and you do this by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. How am I going to feel when I accomplish all of that? Happy, blessed, excited, abundant, all of this. So what do I need to do? I need to feel like that now. I need to stay in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do you write this every day? No, but I read it every day. I read it every day. I read it every day. And I visualize it every day. I'm like, oh my God, I see it. I see myself. Like guys, I literally close my eyes and I see myself giving my mom and dad the keys to the house. Like, here, mom, this is yours. I see myself driving around in my Rolls Royce. I see myself donating hundreds and thousands of dollars to charities all over the world. I see myself with my crypto portfolio at multiple seven figures. I see it. I live in the reality that it's already mine. When I open up my crypto portfolio, I don't see six figures. I see seven figures. When I open up my back office, I don't see chairman. I see chairman 100. I live in the feeling I'm doing. Look, guys, I do this every day. This is how I was able to attract where I'm at today. And I'm doing this all the time. So, sorry, I get so carried away sometimes because I'm so passionate about this stuff. All right, because this is what it's about. This is how you should be about your goals, about your dreams, about your desires. All right. So let's start with chapter 4. All right, desire, and then we'll wrap it up. Literally 10, 15 more minutes, and we're done here. Okay, desire. Chapter 4. At the top, the changes which take place in your life as a result of your changed concept of yourself always appear to the unenlightened to be the result not of I gotta reread that. The changes which take place in your life as a result of your changed concept of yourself always appear to the unenlightened to be the result not of a change of your consciousness, but of chance, outer cause, or coincidence. All right. This is important to understand. What is he basically saying there in shorter words, right? When you start, like, for example, I was talking to somebody the other day that's from my neighborhood. And he was telling me, he was like, bro, you should hear the things that people say about you when you're not in the room. And I'm like, back in the hood. And I'm like, what do you mean? What are people saying about me? Like, people just think that you made it by luck. People think that you don't really make the money that you make. People just think that it was by chance, like it was a coincidence. You know, like that's what he's saying right there. He says the changes that take place in your life as a result of the change concept of yourself. So the moment you make a change in yourself and the things start to happen for you, right? The people who are unenlightened, the people that don't understand this information, they're gonna say that happened to you not because of a change of consciousness, but because of chance or because of a coincidence or because you got lucky. And it's so true. Now that I reread this book, because remember, when I read this book, I was broke, so that didn't hit me. But now it hits me a little bit more because I'm like, it's so true because I hear what people say now, right? They think that it was by chance that I got this, all right? Now, however, the only fate governing your life is the fate determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions. For an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Man, hope you guys are listening. I'm gonna read it again. However, the only fate governing your life is the fate determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions. For an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into a fact. The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself. It will not be realized by you until you have imagined that you are already that ideal. There is no escape for you except by a radical psychological transformation of yourself, except by your assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Therefore, make results or accomplishments the crucial test of your ability to use your imagination. All right, that's important. That's how you know if your imagination is working, based on your results and your imagination, right? No, the way you know if your imagination is working is based off your results and your accomplishments. Okay, everything depends on your attitude towards yourself. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. Make sure you highlight that too. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. So if you're not affirming that I am wealthy, I am chairman, I am SED, I am this, I am successful, I am abundant, that which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you. So if you never affirm it, it will never come true. If you never speak it, it'll never come true. Never. It'll never come true. For that attitude alone is a necessary condition by which you realize your goal. All transformation is based upon suggestion, and this can work only where you lay yourself completely open to an influence. You must abandon yourself to your ideal as a woman abandons herself to love. For complete abandonment of self to it is the way to union with your ideal. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. That is, you must assume the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire until you are possessed by it, and this feeling crowds all others' ideas out of your consciousness. Man, that is so tough right there. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. That is, you must assume the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire until you are possessed by it, and this feeling crowds all other ideas out of your consciousness. This is what I tell you guys, right? What did I used to do? I used to go sit in the Mercedes. I used to go to BMW. I go sit at the Rolls Royce store. I literally go to the stores. The other day, what did I do? I went and visited this $3 million condo, $30,000 a month of rent. And literally, I didn't even want the apartment. I just went to look at it, to put myself in the reality of what it was going to be, because that's what they say right there. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled until your assumption has all the sensory vividness of reality. All the sensory, all the senses. Can you see it? Can you hear it? Can you touch it? Can you smell it? And can you taste it? Okay. All right. Can you see it? Can you hear it? Like when you visualize it, like think about it. I see it. I hear the waves. I taste it. Right. I taste the champagne of the celebration. Right. I smell my cologne, my Bond number 9, my Baccarat. Right. I touch it. I know how it feels. I know how the car feels. I know how the desk feels. I know this stuff. Like, you have to really put yourself in there. Right? You really have to put yourself in there. All right. But what if you don't want material things? Then practice it with the things that you do want. Practice applying the senses to the things that you do want. That's all. Right. And the most important thing is focusing on the feeling. That's the key. That is the key, the feeling. How are you going to feel when you accomplish those things? You want to live by that. All right. So you must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. So what do you desire? What do I desire? I just read it to you guys. That's what I desire. So I have to imagine that I'm already experiencing what you desire. What I desire, I have to already experience it. I have to experience it already. That is, you must assume the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire until you are possessed by it. And this is what I'm working on right now. This is what I'm working on right now, is getting possessed by it. And that way the feeling can crowd out all other ideas out of my consciousness. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on getting possessed by the idea now. I have the idea, but I'm working on getting possessed by it. That's all I think about everything. The man who is not prepared for the conscious plunge into the assumption of the wish fulfilled in the faith that it is the only way to the realization of his dream is not yet ready to live consciously by the law of assumption. Although there is no doubt that he does live by the law of assumption unconsciously, but for you who accept this principle and are ready to live by consciously assuming that your wish is already fulfilled, the adventure of life begins. To reach a higher level of being, you must assume a higher concept of yourself. If you will not imagine yourself as other than what you are, then you remain as you are. So think about it. If you're not imagining who you want to be, then you will always stay as you are. For if ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. All right. Back page 22. We wrap it up. If you do not believe that you are he, the person you want to be, then you remain as you are. Through the faithful, systematic cultivation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled, desire becomes the promise of its own fulfillment. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled makes the future dream a present fact. That's the key. That's the key. That's why this book changed my life. Because I read this and I'm like, well, I definitely don't want to imagine myself continuing to be broke, busted, and disgusted. I need to visualize myself and imagine myself as that person. I gotta visualize myself as that person. But this is what it's all about, guys. You have to spend time daily. All right. Right. You have to spend time daily in visualization. You have to spend time daily in the reality of who you want to be. You got to be speaking it daily. You got to be talking about it. You got to be writing it every day. You got to be doing it each and every single day. Someone who's possessed, someone who's obsessed with this will not slip up once. That's what I tell you guys. That's why you can't slip up, because someone who's obsessed with the idea of who they want to be will never take a day off, will never allow themselves to let the outside circumstance affect them, because you already know that it's done. The reason why I show up every day, regardless of what I go through, is because I already know that what I read to you guys is already done. So why do I need to be sad? And why do I need to be stressed? Why do I need to be overwhelmed if I already created the reality that I want to live in my mind? And I visit it every day. Every day I visit it. Every day I go and visit it for 10 to 15 minutes. And I live in that reality, living on that penthouse on the beach when my mom and dad retired, making hundreds and thousands of dollars a month and six figures and helping people and mornings with Nano and this and that. Like, I already see it. I live in that reality. Why do I need to be stressed? So what? So what? I'm behind on bills. So what? Guys, I don't think you guys understand. Some of you guys are like, Nano, but I have a lot of problems going on. I don't think you guys understand how many problems I was going through when I was doing this. I put myself into so much debt for this business. I maxed out multiple credit cards. My credit went from 700 and some change down all the way down to almost like 490 because I maxed out all these credit cards and then I had no money to pay for them. I had no money to pay for them and they went into collections and I'm now recovering my credit from all the stuff that I did on the come up. I had people calling my phone, this, that, money I owed, so much problems, bills I had to pay. You have no idea how much stuff I had to deal with, problems, family, mom and dad health issues, so many stuff, relationships, all of it. But you know what? Every single day I woke up and I'm so happy and grateful. I live on the beach. I'm so thankful. I'm a chairman 25. I'm making hundreds and thousands of dollars a month. I got my credit back up to 700 plus, blah, 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 blah. And now it's happening. And now it's happening. And now it's happening. Even though I went through all of those things, I was still pushing through. Is that what you have written in your goal card? No, I have something else written on my goal card. $100,000 a month is what's written on my goal card. $100,000 a month. But I share that with you guys because, look, I know some of us go through a lot of stuff. I get it. And I can never tell you guys that, it's easy and that I don't understand you. We all have our own paths. And I know we all go through our own things. But staying in that, remember, let's go back to it really quick. Let's go back to the power of assumption, chapter 3. Okay, let's go to the first paragraph. Let's read it one more time. Man's chief delusion in his conviction that there are other causes other than his own state of consciousness. Listen right here. Listen to this right here. All that befalls a man or woman, all that is done by him or her, all that comes from him or her, happens as a result of his or her state of consciousness. A man or woman's state of consciousness is all that he or she thinks and desires and loves, and all that he or she believes in, true, and consents to. Everything that was happening to me was created by me. I created that. I was the one that put myself into that. I was the one that put myself into those situations with my relationship. I did that. It wasn't the world. It wasn't the government. It wasn't my school. It wasn't my mentor. It wasn't my friends. It wasn't my parents. It was me. I'm the one that thinks. I'm the one that controls my mind. So I wasn't mad. I said, okay, if I put myself in this, I can get myself out of this. Whatever situation you go through right now in life, the same way you put yourself into it, you did it by your state of consciousness, right? What is a man's state of consciousness, right? A man's consciousness, a man or woman's consciousness is all that he or she thinks and desires and loves. What do you think about? What do you love? What is it? Talk to me. Everything you're going through, you thought about it. You visualized it. You did it. Nobody else. Not your mom, not your dad. You did it. So that's what I want you all to understand. That's the key. So to wrap up, And to just give you guys a last desire right here. I'm sorry, last points, right? We talked about the power of assumption and we talked about desire today. So important, guys. These two chapters are the key to a lot of everything that we're going to cover this week. All right. This is key information. Reread this chapter. Reread what it was that we covered. Look, that was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. Reread those 7 pages again. Read it 2 or 3 times until you truly understand what they're wanting to get across, the message that they're wanting to get across. Sit down and create the reality that I created. The same way I created this reality, I'm driving down Collins Avenue in my Rolls Royce. You know, I make a U-turn. Like, yo, I made it so vividly. I made it so vividly, guys. That's what I did. I made it so vivid. I made it to the point where you could literally see it. Like, you could see it with me. Think about it. I'm driving down Collins Ave in my Rolls Royce Wraith. I make a U-turn on 183rd Street. I pull up into the Porsche Tower. I even know the address, 18555 Collins Avenue. I drive into the garage. There's a line of luxury cars on each side. So when you drive into the garage, because I know what it looks like, when you drive into the garage, on each side, there's like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Escalades, everything. So as you're driving into the garage, you're seeing all these luxury cars on each side, right? I pull up to the elevator. Boom. I stop. I wait for the door to open. I drive my car into the elevator. I put it in park, and I let it go up to my penthouse, into my condo that's overlooking the ocean. Like, I'm telling you guys what I'm visualizing. That's what I'm visualizing in my mind. Like, I'm seeing it the same way I'm writing it is the same way that I'm seeing it in my mind. All right. I know what a Rolls Royce feels like because I've been in a Rolls Royce Wraith. So I remember how the leather feels on the wheel. I remember what it looks like when I look up and I see the stars in the ceiling. I remember what it feels like where I remember it don't have a thing. What do we call this? You actually with a Rolls Royce, you change the gears right here on the hand on the steering wheel. Where you change it is right here on the steering wheel. That's where you change the gears. So I know that it's there. That's how I put it on park. That's how I put it on drive. Like, I remember all of it. I remember how it smells. I live on the beach, so I know how the sunset looks. I know how the sunrise looks. I live in that reality. I see my apartment. My apartment is my screensaver right now. It's literally my screensaver. I want you guys to understand this. And I know it might sound crazy to some of you guys, but yo, this is what I did. This is my new visualization. But wait till I go back to New York so you can see how I was visualizing this, though, what I'm doing right now. I was doing this back in 2019 to live the reality that I'm living now. And it took me 2 years to do it from 2019. 2 years. I got it in 2021. So from 2019 to 2021, I made my wish, I met my future dream a present fact through this book. It took me 2 years. It takes time. It takes time. Look, it took me 2 years. It took me 2 summers. From the day I read this book, hey, look, guys, if it takes me 2 more years, that's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna stop. All right, this year's 2022. If I don't move into the Porsche Tower until 2024, that's fine with me. But I know that what I wrote down is gonna become a present fact. And I'm still gonna be doing mornings with Nano. Right? Right, Kenya? It's not even long. It's not even long. It's already done. It's literally already done. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. And in the desire chapter, right? Look at what he said. the main concept here is you got to change the concept of yourself. Okay. And it takes time because remember, look, this is what happens. You first, sorry, I had to charge my phone. That's why I had to bring it over here. Let me put it right here. Give me 1 second, actually. I'm about to wrap up, guys. Literally less than 2 minutes to wrap up. Let me just put this right here so we can charge it. But you got to remember, guys, this is what the tough part is. Let me tell you what the tough part is. The tough part is you have to create that new concept of yourself, right? Then you have to create the new concept of yourself. And while you're creating the new concept of yourself, you have to become obsessed with the idea of who you want to become and then stay consistent through all of the stuff that you're going to go through to see it happen. Because yes, Nano wants to live in the Porsche Tower. Yes, Nano wants to retire his family and buy them a house in the Dominican Republic. And yes, Nano wants to do all of that. But guess what? There's going to come struggles. There's going to come obstacles. There's going to come challenges that I got to be ready for. Because that's why they say be careful what you ask for, because when you ask for something, you got to get tested to see if you're deserving. So guess what? I'm going to get tested and I'm ready for the test. I'm excited for those tests. I'm so excited and so blessed and so ready for those challenges. I'm so ready for them. I'm ready for them. I'm so excited for the challenges that are going to come because of what I'm asking for. How many of you guys have that excitement towards your challenges? Like, I can't wait. I'm like, challenge me. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to take that test. I'm ready to ace that test, as a matter of fact. That's why I've been reading so much. That's why I've been connecting myself with God more, right? Getting into the Bible more. That's why I've been writing my goals down more. That's why I've been reading more. Look, guys, you come to my house, you see nothing but books. Books. This is the real racks right here. Don't talk to me about racks of money, racks of books. That's the real racks. I'm always learning. I'm always educating myself. This is what I do. This is what I'm inspired by. This is what I'm willing to do to make sure that we make it and we break these generational curses and we create these generational wealth for our families. This is what it takes. This is what it takes right here. It takes this kind of passion. It takes this kind of obsession. It takes this kind of consistency in order for you to make it. And I'm only an example so that you can do the same in your way. Not like me. I don't want you to be Nano. You don't have to be Nano. Be you, Vanessa. Be you, Iman. Be you, Kenya. Be you, Phoenix. Be you, Sierra. Be you, Sandy. Be you. You don't have to be me. You know what you could do? You could take examples of me. You could take, you know what? I want to be consistent like him. That's fine. I want to be a great speaker as well. You could take little parts of me and take it with you and make it your own. That's what I did. I took a little bit from Bob Proctor. I took something from Alex Morton. I took from Matt Rose. I took from this person, from that person, and then I made it my own. And now I'm Nano. I'm me. Take a little bit from everybody, sprinkle a little bit of your sauce, and become who you want to be. But what I want all of you to do, if you haven't done it yet, is create that present dream. What is that dream that you want to live? And create that for yourself and live in it every day. Live in it every day, every day, every day, every day. Live in that reality and watch what will happen for you. It's going to take time. I'm telling you right now, it's going to take time because as we know, the seed, we don't plant the seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. And if you're not ready to give it time, if you're not ready to go through the challenges that you want to go through, you're not ready to go. Remember, think about what you're asking for. In order for you to get what you're asking for, you're going to get challenged, you're going to be tested, and you're going to go through obstacles. When they show up, don't be sad. Don't be stressed out. Don't do any of those things. Just literally take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. And celebrate your success and celebrate your failures twice as much. So chapter 3 and 4 was lit. We went over the power of assumption and desire. All right. Live in that reality. Get desired. Become obsessed with the idea. Obsessed. You have to become obsessed with the idea of what we want to become. All right, fam. So that wraps up today's call. We finished chapter 3 and 4. Put a 3-4 in the chat box if you got value from today's chapter. All right. Remember, after every chapter, after every day that we read, what you need to do is you got to do something called ACT. A-C-T. What am I going to apply? What am I going to change? And what am I going to teach from what you learned today? What are you going to apply? What are you going to change? And what are you going to teach? What are you going to apply? What are you going to change? And what are you going to teach? Dude, I'm applying this stuff as we speak. I don't have it all figured out, guys. Trust me. Not me. It's easier. Look, it's easier said than done. But as long as you have the right attitude towards it, that's the key. All right. So 3-4s in the chat. Like this video if you haven't. Let's do a quick prayer and let's continue to run it up. Quick prayer, fam. Everybody bow your heads. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful day that's filled with your abundance, your grace. We are so thankful to wake up today, because if you woke us up today, we know that you're not done working on us. And, you know, we understand the messages that you've conveying to us over the last few weeks. And it's obvious that we have to reprogram ourselves. We have to, you know, undo that yarn. We have to recreate the paradigms that we have in our minds and recreate new ones. But the good thing is that you've given us vision. You've given us clarity. You've given us exactly what we need, the wisdom, the ideas, the leadership that we need in order for us to make this happen. Now it's all on us. It's really all on us, God. You've given us all the tools that we need. You've given us imagination. You've given us wisdom. You've given us courage. You've given us everything that we need in order for us to make our future dream a present reality. But we have to put the work in now. We have to live in the reality of who it is that we want to be. We have to wake up happy, excited, blessed, full of joy, enlightened each and every single day. We can't allow the outside circumstances to affect our peace, God. So we ask for your strength in that area right there, God. I really, really ask for your strength in that area, because I know a lot of us, all right, struggle with allowing the outside circumstances to affect our peace and affect our moods. Give us the strength every day to be able to reject those ideas. Give us the strength to look at our challenges in the face and laugh at them. Okay, and be excited about the challenges that we go through, and give us the strength to climb over those obstacles. Okay, and look at all of these challenges and all these triumphs in the face, and it's like, this is what we love to do. We love facing challenges. We love facing tests, because this is what's going to get us to where we want to go, God. So we are so thankful for you. Make our vision clear. Continue to bless us. Continue to guide us. Continue to be the leader that you are in our life. We are so extremely thankful for you, for everything that you're doing for us each and every single day. We will continue to pray for you. We will continue to guide you. We will continue to make sure that we serve our purpose each and every single day. And we are just so thankful for another day filled with amazing wisdom, filled with amazing abundance, God. So we love you so much, and we appreciate you so much. Let's go out there and have a great day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. With that being said, that wraps up today's call. Thank you so much for hopping on, guys. I'm so thankful for each and every single one of you. Let's go out there and let's go have a great day. Tomorrow is the last day for Mornings with Nano for the week. Maybe I can run it Friday morning. Let me see. What time is it in Barcelona? Hey, Siri. Can she hear me? Yeah, we'll be at the event. Yeah. It's 6 hours ahead, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's no 6 hours.
I found this on the web.
Yeah, so it won't work, guys. I'll be at the event by that time. So, yeah, I'm gonna do the call tomorrow, though. I am gonna do the call tomorrow, and then we'll run that up. But I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. We'll talk tomorrow for sure. I'll be on this. I fly out tomorrow night. Okay, I fly out tomorrow night. But I'll be back Monday. We'll run it up Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll continue to run. But we're gonna finish this. We're gonna do two chapters every call. We'll be done with. I think at this pace, we'll be done with this book in a matter of 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max. There's a total of how many chapters? 16, 27. You divide that by 2. It's really 13 days. About 3 weeks it'll take us. About a solid 3 weeks, including like the days that I can't be here and stuff like that. So a good 3 weeks. We'll be done with it for sure by the end of the month. All right, guys. So lock in. I appreciate you guys all, and I hope all of you have a phenomenal rest of your day. Make sure you guys are applying this information and not just reading it. Reread this over and over and over again until it is installed in your mind, until it is all that you think about and you become obsessed with the idea. I love y'all and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. Let's get it.